feel what I feel.
Namaste, Liddy, guys, all the time. What's up, Marley? So usually I go to my spots, but I've been needing to just save gas. So, sorry, there we go. Yeah, I just been needing to save my money and save gas, so fuck it, you know? And it's like, you can knock two birds with one stone, you know? I'm walking my dog, I'm making a video, fuck it, everyone's happy, you know? And I see some comments, I really appreciate the comments, guys, like, there's someone that says it was nice walking with you and Marley, and like, I appreciate that, that's true, like, you really are walking with us. You know what I mean? You're just, think of it as you're sitting, you're the camera, you're sitting in the lens of the camera, you got shrunk down to really microscopic size, and now you're just sitting in the cockpit of the camera, you know? So, yeah, I don't know, good shit coming either way. I always say good shit coming because it's good, it's like affirmations, right? When you speak positive stuff like that, you affirm it in your reality. The universe has no choice but to reflect that back, because our beliefs are really what are dictating what we're manifesting. Beliefs of ourselves, or the universe, whatever. So if you keep saying good shit's coming, because all it is now, you're gonna put that belief in the projection and vibration to be a resonance for good things to come, because you're humble, you're open, you're receptive to these good things that are gonna come, or that can come, or that even have been trying to come, but you just weren't ready because you were too blinded, being elsewhere than the present. But that's not the video today. The video today is just honestly solitude, like how it is good to be by yourself sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but it gets to the point where you don't even want to be around a lot of people, because it's so peaceful being with your own energy. So peaceful. Like, I remember I would hang out with a bunch of fake ass people, and then through my awakening I would be guided just to be in solitude, go by myself and do my own thing, because you allow for the energy to come back home to yourself. You allow to make space for new things to come in, because the people that you were around, or the environment you were in, was just hindering, the blessings that have been trying to come into your life. But now that there's no blockages in the way, right? There's no distractions, because you're in solitude. You've allowed space. You cleansed your energy. You cleared it up. And it's like, once you cleanse and purge that energy that doesn't serve, okay, cool. Now you can attract things that are more in alignment with you, right? That aren't gonna bring your vibration down. That's gonna help you grow. Because the only thing that's constant is change. So the more you change, the more the universe changes with you, at least. You're just adapting. Fuck, man. Good shit coming. Good shit coming. I feel it. Fuck, it is a beautiful night, huh? There's like a party or somewhere. It's a Saturday night, so I hear like they're playing Mexican music down there. But always something to be grateful for, guys, always. I got the dog taking a shit. Classic Marley. But yeah, just understand this, you guys. Sometimes the deepest peace you will ever feel comes from simply just being with yourself. No distractions, no noise, just you and the quiet truth of your own presence, alone in your thoughts. You're meditating, cool, you're aware that you're beyond the thoughts, so, you can clear your mind into pure awareness, into the present. But it's like most people don't realize how much they run, right? How much they run from silence, how much they run from just sitting with their own thoughts, because they don't even like the thoughts that they're thinking. They can't even sit with themselves, right? So they're never really peaceful. You know what I mean? How much they run from being alone. Not because it's like there's coyotes, bro. Oops. Shit's fucking annoying. I'm just trying to skate. I was gonna skate, bro. Now they found dinner. They go, arr. Anyways, most people just try to run from the silence Run from not anything to be alone, to not be alone. Like there'll be people in toxic ass relationships that are draining, narcissistic, whatever, just so they don't be alone. They'll get treated like shit from their partner, but it's okay because I'm not alone. You're still alone, bro. You're with someone who doesn't value you. You're alone. No offense, but like, what? I mean, it's like you might as well be alone so that you don't have to get drained from this toxic person. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? And they run away, right? Not because solitude is scary, but because their own thoughts, like I said, feel unfamiliar. They never really had a chance to just sit with them, right? Because we're taught constantly to fill the silence with people, with conversations, with scrolling, with noise, and anything to avoid meeting ourselves. But it's like the more you avoid meeting yourself, the more you're just prolonging the change that you can make. You're prolonging the shift in your reality that you could have. But something powerful happens when you stop running, right? When you just sit down and listen. When you breathe and just let yourself just be. And then you realize that you never really were lonely. You're not lonely. You're home. When you're by yourself, you're home. Your presence begins to feel comforting, warm, familiar. And it's like returning to a part of yourself that forgot existed. And it's self-love at that point when you do that. And it's like learning to enjoy your own company is one of the highest forms of self-love. It's more attractive. It's very magnetic. People are going to see that, well, he's cool, he's confident, he doesn't need someone to be happy. All right. And then people are just going to want to gravitate towards you because you don't even need it. It's like, because once you feel that wholeness within yourself, the world loses its ability to shake your foundation. Sorry, there's itchy shit. It can't touch you anymore because you don't care. And that's a powerful place to be. You know what I mean? Other people become, addicted to things, right? Other people's addictions, it'll bring them down. And it's like, at that point, connection becomes choices if you really want connection outside of your peace with yourself, outside of solitude, right? But it's not something you have to do, right? Not survival. So it's like solitude becomes sacred because your energy is sacred. It's not empty, but full of clarity, full of truth, full of peace, full of you. So very beneficial to be alone with yourself when you need it, to call energy back. It's like the more you honor your own presence, the more you realize you were never missing anything in the first place. You were just creating that false belief. You were always whole. You already are whole. You already are enough. You've been enough, and you've always been home. You are home. You just needed to remember. So sit with yourself. Right? Breathe with yourself. Be present with this now. Feel the peace that rises when you stop searching for yourself outside of you. It's always just been within you. Because the moment you enjoy your own company, that's the moment your entire life transforms, your whole reality. That's more of the time that you'll be more magnetic as a person. Because now you're enjoying your whole essence. You've accepted the moment for how it is in the now. And by doing so, you allow for things to happen that you wouldn't even expect could happen because you've let go, No resistance. You surrendered to the now. And when you surrender to the now, you surrender to the higher part of you that's trying to flow through. But the ego shuts it up by thinking so much. So, and that's the real you, right? The higher mind, the highest you, that's the real you. Not these false limitations or thoughts that we think and attach ourselves with. Most of the time, it's like being around people, they'll bring us down. Well, if they're bad people, right? And then because everything's connected, so you'll be around their thought pendulums, right? Because thoughts are things, they go out in your energetic field in reality. And if they're thinking bad thoughts all the time, you're around them, you're going to feel drained. You're going to feel their thought forms kind of linger onto your auric field. The fuck was that, a sprinkler? So you're gonna start thinking like them. But it's about being cautious about, okay, that's them, that's not me. And then you gotta just, again, bring your energy back into solitude until the universe makes space and time for the right connections that won't drain you to align. Because trust me, when I did that, when I stopped hanging out with the fake people that were just using me for my car, whatever, went into solitude, I finally had more time to create the things I've been wanting to do. I just was fucking stalling for no reason because the people I was around, and it was my fault too, but it's like, I said it before, I say it again, I was trying to start YouTube back in 2020 when I woke up, and I woke up in 2018, but 2019 I had the vision to start. I should have started 2019. I didn't because I was hanging out with fucking lowlives, and allowing it to happen. This was 7 years, 2019, 2021. Wait, 19, 20, 21, 6 years ago, bro. That's fucking, dude. I could have been, who knows where I could have been right now. So, and it's only been a year since I started this. I could have been doing it already for 6 years, but again, we can't focus on the past. We can only focus on the present and the future that you can create in the now. So it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm doing my videos. Cool. But it took me having to call my energy back to myself, having to go home instead of hanging out with pieces of shits and just fucking, make music, get my energy back. I had more energy by being with myself because I wasn't drained anymore. So with that energy that I had replenished, I was able to create music. Now I'm doing that, make videos, okay, cool, work out, just anything that's aligning me back to my highest self. And it's doing it, I'm doing it every day. I feel great. But no one's going to do it for you, You got to do it. You got to want it. You got to want it for yourself. Because the more you prohibit it and entertain these people and whatever that's not for you, then the more you're in for a rude awakening, essentially. It's like, you want it to get worse, or just want to just let it go now, right? I would prefer just let it go now, right? So just let it go now, bro. Let go of these people that are holding you back. Let go of these thoughts, beliefs you got. You know what it is. Breathe on it, sit with it. Okay, cool. This is what's holding me back from being the highest me. Okay. Like, literally, sometimes it just takes you being alone with yourself for a couple days or more to find that peace within you. And when you find that peace within you, it's going to be so much easier to create your reality. Because you found that peace, right? You found you. We lose ourselves so much being around people and situations that don't fulfill our soul. They only feed on ego. So it's up to you, like I said, to become aware of what it is that you gotta get away from so that you can call your energy back home, so you can find that peace within yourself again. Because you got this. You got this. I'm proud of you guys. We got this. Just get outside. Take a breather. Take a walk by yourself, That's what I do whenever to work. I'll skate. It's a good form of connecting to my breath and getting away from all the energy that was around at work, So yeah, go call your energy back home. Find your peace, because it was never found out there. Always within yourself. Love you guys. Namaste, lady. See you tomorrow.
I feel static glitch in the glow.